The reason why we're all here today is because of a woman. And you tell her she can't vote? What's wrong with you?
It's not really an argument. I mean, Nick Fuentes obliterates this entire panel of feminists over whether women should be able to vote in this heated debate, as Nick Fuentes takes on the age-old question of whether we should let modern women who care more about Instagram, TikTok, and abortion decide the fate of a nation, all based on what got into their feed. Let's get in.
Let's move back on to feminism, okay? I think we covered if Trump is racist or not. Let's start with Nick. I'll give you 1 minute. If you can answer, should women vote?
No, absolutely not. Women should not vote. We should repeal the 19th Amendment. We should take it away. They vote for the wrong candidate every single time. Every single time the women vote Democrat, they vote for the wrong person. They vote for more spending. But above all else, I think that women, we have to look at voting as a position of governance. If you're casting a vote, you're determining who should be in the government. And I don't think that women should be in the business of government at all. I think that government and leadership is a domain of men. And I think, honestly, very few people should vote altogether. I think that it's not just exclusive to women. I think that people that have...
I can agree to that. There's a lot of dumb people out there voting, man. It's crazy.
Only been in the country for a generation or two shouldn't vote. I think people that are indigent shouldn't vote. I think that young people shouldn't vote. I think probably people that don't own anything shouldn't vote. And I think, we should get back to a system where a vote is cast really as a representation. I think the vote should be cast by the head of a household. I think that if a woman gets married, her political expression is represented in the vote of her husband, in the vote of the head of the household. I don't think that it's women's position to be in leadership over men, over society. And I think that it's completely outside their domain. So I don't think they should vote at all. And I think the evidence is clear. I mean, ever since they got the right to vote, it's been all downhill.
Do
you want me to respond? No, I'm kidding. I will, actually. I just want to ask a question to lead you to a point. Being in a state of where we are in this country, knowing that nothing but men have president this country, you think that women shouldn't have a chance to run it? You think you're doing an amazing job?
Yep. 100%.
I stand on that. 100%, man.
Of the country, or are you here to stick to the cookie cutter, average white male leading the world type of vibe?
Totally average white male leading the world. I think we should have exceptional white males leading the world. I think the world was a great place when we had more of that. The more we get away from that, the worse things seem to get. I think white men should be back in charge. But that's another debate. I think women should definitely not be in charge.
I feel like, I'm not trying to generalize, but I feel like that demographic causes more harm to the country than they ever did good. And that's on a daily basis. That's like from like something as minuscule as a school shooting.
Huh?
Yeah, but we invented
in charge.
Yeah.
Like, come on.
You said women vote for the wrong candidate?
I mean, but what caused the school shooting? Where is the root cause of that? That's actually an interesting question they should ask themselves. Are these kids that are doing school shooting being raised by single mothers? Are they being raised by two-parent household? Or are they being raised by a male?
So why are you the arbiter of what's considered a wrong candidate?
Also,
you do know that the same wrong candidates that you're talking about, men vote for them as well.
That is true, which unfortunately.
Vote too, but if you believe in a democratic system where every person's vote should count, I assume so.
I don't.
No. You just made it clear.
Because let's take, for example, in this society right now, person turns 18 years old. They don't own anything. They've never had a real job. They just graduate high school. This is a person that's voting for the president of the United States. What do they know about anything? What do they know about trade, the economy, foreign affairs? What do they know about one thing in the whole world? A person that owns a building knows more about the world than literally any 18-year-old alive today. Somebody that knows where water and electricity come from, somebody that pays bills, somebody that owns a company. These are people that know how the country actually works. The problem is people look at a vote as a privilege, and they've divorced it from why we have the privilege. And we have the privilege because the privilege is conferred upon us by citizenship. Citizenship, self-government, means you take responsibility for the country. It's not just about you're a total bum or you're lazy or you know nothing and then you get to cast a vote. If you're not really upholding the responsibilities of a free man and a citizen, if you're not enterprising, if you're not a good Republican, by Republican I don't mean a member of the GOP, I mean a member of the Republic, which is, you know, what this country is, I don't think you should be able to vote. And I think there's a lot of people that, you know, whether they contribute nothing or they know nothing, some of them aren't even literate, some of them know nothing about what's going on. The idea their vote cancels out a business owner, their vote cancels out a lawyer, it's totally insane.
I have one point before I move it on to my other people, but I understand what you're saying. There are a lot of misinformed people when they go to cast their ballot, but I don't think that we should put in a system in place where they don't get to make their voices heard, because the president rules the country. That means every single thing they do will affect every single person in this country. So they should have a right to dictate how their lives are going to be governed, whether they're informed or not. Taking away to like disenfranchising people because we think they're misinformed, it sets a dangerous precedent.
Okay, Christine and Cheyenne. Christine and Cheyenne. Why should women vote?
Ask questions. So we're saying
no. Stop with the question. Answer this question first. Why should women vote?
Okay, so if women should they also not work, or is it two separate things? Because
Let's stay on subject. Why should women vote?
I think everyone has the right to vote. I'm sorry. That's all I'm saying. Go ahead.
Why should women vote?
Cheyenne.
Okay, I can go now, please? No interruptions? Okay. I think women should vote is because, first of all, we're a human being before we're anything. And I just think that's a little bit disrespectful to say, well, she can't vote. Women should vote not because they're a human being and they have rights just like anybody else do, but why wouldn't you give rights to the person who birthed you? That doesn't make any sense to me. The reason why we're all here today is because of a woman. And you tell her she can't vote?
I won't say anything. I want to hear what Nick Fuentes' response will be for this. Because this is interesting that she says that it's because of a woman you're here, a woman birthed you. And this is how this is how black female, I don't know if the white mothers do this, but I know the black community female, they do this to control their sons and their daughters and males in general and everyone. I birthed you. I'm your mother. That's crazy. It's crazy.
What's wrong with you?
It's really an argument. I mean, well, let's start with one. Let's start with one really good argument. The whole basis of a country, really the basis of the country, is that it's able to defend its borders. That's kind of what a country is.
Oh, so she really didn't have a point. That's what I'm trying to say. She doesn't have a point, man. Because when you look at it, she can't create life. She carry the life, but she doesn't create the life. Neither does the man create the life. If God doesn't will it, you can't birth a child. You're given the responsibility to take care of that soul when it enters. But you can't create life. So no, you're wrong. I don't know what she's talking about, but let's move on.
A country is a group of people that say this land is our land, and we get to determine what happens within these borders. Now, unfortunately, there is no entity higher than the level of government that enforces these rules. When Russia invades Ukraine, there's nobody that says you're not allowed to do that. If Ukraine can't defend its borders, they lose their land. Those territories are no longer a part of it. So what makes a country is the willingness and the ability to defend the borders and the territorial integrity. Mm-hmm. If America is attacked from outside or inside, who goes to fight? Who goes to fight the war to secure the realm and defend our way of life and our right to govern ourselves? It's the men. It's the men that go on the front lines. It's the men that take up arms. It's the men that are expected to do these things. And by the way, the same is true in a community. If somebody breaks into your home at 2 a.m. with a gun and a baseball bat or whatever, and they say, hey, bitch, we're gonna kill you, we're gonna take all your stuff, who do you call? Cops. What do you want the cops to be? You
Man.
want some 5'4" little girl to jump through the window and save you? Or do you want a big, tall guy to come in and fix and save the day? Same thing goes for firefighters. Same thing goes for public works. So for that reason alone,
if that's the logic you're using, wouldn't you say men should just like be strong and let women make mental decisions?
What?
If that's your strength, if you're equating men to physical brute strength, shouldn't women be considered the like brain of it all?
Why would we consider them?
You don't even know what you want to eat for dinner. That's kind of crazy.
That there are no female geniuses.
But you're just talking about men being irrational, being violent. Like,
That's
men
right.
have to protect women from other fellow men.
Katherine Johnson, who worked at NASA, that's not a female genius?
That's fake. I'm talking about real geniuses. Real geniuses like Isaac Newton, like Galileo. I'm talking about real geniuses, not like figures. Isaac Newton, like Galileo.
I guess that's the end of the video. But I will say, man, shout out to Nick Fuentes. He's taking the internet by storm. And I love this guy. Even though I don't agree with him going at certain angles, you know. But who am I to say anything? People are allowed to say and do whatever they want, right? But I appreciate him coming in and speaking his mind and speaking what he thinks and, you know, have a dialogue about it. And yeah, but back to the point. These males that vote Democrat, they're weak. They're feeble. They're raised by their mothers. They didn't have a strong father in their life to show them the way. And that's why society is going down this drain, right? These female, why didn't you have the female make mental decision? You can't even make decision what you want to eat. You're always in your thoughts, always in your imagination, judging. Because you've made the devil your God. Why would we want you to make mental decision when every time you guys vote almost 95% women Democrats, because you vote on how you feel, what you want to hear. Even though they're lying to you, you still feel good about it and you make your judgment off that. And that's not logical. So why would we want you to make mental decision when you're confused in the head because you're double-minded? You're being led by the evil that is inside of you, the devil, because you live in your thoughts and imagination, and it drives you to do dumb, stupid things. And we're seeing it everywhere, all over the world. And then these females raise these boys, and these boys grow up to be somewhat in politics, and they become a problem too, because there's no strong dad. And you guys are voting for these Democrat males that they're just using you and destroying you because they're still controlled and ruled over by the spirit of their mother. Because they're evil. They're in their thoughts, they're in their imagination as well. And they're being controlled by the same evil spirit that is being controlled by the female. But let me know what you guys think.